We cannot hope to keep out the new people entirely.
You mean you don't think that I can beat Mrs. Russell at my own game?
I wish I knew the cards you think you have up your sleeve.
I'm taking a chance, George. I know that. But whoever achieved great things without taking a chance?
Is anything the matter?
You tell me.
I don't know what good can come of this. This can't be right.
She's taken leave of her senses.
I love you, Marion.
Mrs. Astor is in the hall.
I'm tired of being cut on my own doorstep.
Let the tournament begin.
Old money can't keep out the new people entirely, or they'd form their own society that would exclude us. The relationship between Bertha and Lord McAllister is he's sort of testing her. Each time she sort of passes his tests, he grows to be fond of her.
I haven't bungled it, have I?
Oh, no. There is a moment in Newport he may have overstepped his bounds.
Do you know what the Astors paid for Beechwood?
Why don't I take you? We'll go this afternoon.
She's desperate to see what Mrs. Astor has done to transform the inside of this house, because of course Bertha's got her eye on, you know, whenever they can move to Newport and start their summering there, she's going to do it. But she wants to build the right thing. And her interest sort of gets her in trouble in this case.
She's here. She's come early.
Oh, good Lord. Get rid of Mrs. Russell.
Bertha is chased out through the back quarters of Mrs. Astor's house because she's not supposed to be in there. It's one of the most humiliating moments in the whole series. I just love that it's always fuel for her. Every little slight just gives her more power.
Oscar has spent the majority of the season trying to win Gladys's hand in marriage, so he sees Newport as the perfect opportunity to consolidate this plan.
Feel I know you both through Oscar. He speaks so highly of you.
What are you doing here? John Adams is unexpected arrival. I think at best is an unwelcome distraction, and at worst threatens to capsize the whole endeavor. What the hell do you think you're playing at?
I think I'm playing at having a lovely time.
Oscar is complicated for me. I think he wants Gladys because if he's going to do this thing, he wants to be as comfortable with it as he can be and live with someone he's fond of. So I don't think it's all dishonest, but of course it's unfair to Gladys, and that is what John Adams sees.
I don't think Oscar is prepared to sacrifice love for money. I think he wants everything. He's fully determined to continue his ongoing illicit affair with John Adams, and marry Gladys, and land the fortune. What can I say? I like to win.
Put more detectives on it. Talk to Pinkerton himself. Do whatever it takes. But you must give me something to work with.
You know, George always wants to, both in business and in these situations where he's meting out justice, set an example.
He doesn't want to rock the boat in certain ways at home, but when it comes to Mrs. Ainsley, it's as cut and dried as you can get.
She knows his secrets, she's read his letters, she's inside his life, and she has entirely betrayed him. And in the process, some people have been killed.
She did something that was, you know, unforgivable, and she's done.
George decides to just utterly destroy her life. Forever.
You may scrub floors to earn your bread, but nothing more.
Finding out Peggy's full story, what she went through, the grief of losing her child, the grief of losing her marriage, it illuminated to me the shame that women had to carry around sex in our bodies and the pressure that they're under to not have cracks show.
She knows enough of my story now to make things difficult for me.
What about your story is so terrible?
Her finally not being able to carry the burden anymore and sharing it with Mary.
You have a child?
I had a child.
That is the moment for me. The trust really happens.
It's the first time Peggy's really opened up in a big way to me. Once you get into sharing intimate details about big life secrets, then you become closer. You're going to tell Aunt Agnes. She has to hear it from you.
She has to tell her story for herself, otherwise Armstrong will tell it for her. And I think it's really interesting watching her move through that with empowerment.
Armstrong wants Peggy out, but also she wants to protect the house. Her whole plan goes awry. I was only trying to protect the reputation of this house.
I could say the same.
Peggy is so upset by the fact that I've been so cruel to her that she doesn't even want to stay. Everybody here likes Peggy. I think it's going to be hard for me in the house.
Maybe Miss Scott will change her mind.
She won't.
Peggy doesn't really need anyone to save her. I think that is what's really cool about Julian and Sonia writing Peggy's narrative is she's not just being tossed in the wind at the mercy of other people. Even if she's gonna put herself in a precarious situation, she's there because she's chosen to navigate those waters.
Peggy, with her ambition to be a writer as an African-American young woman, is going to have a much harder time of it, and Agnes sees that. She respects anybody who's had a tough time in life and is going to make something of herself.
Bridget, are you following me?
Bridget follows Jack out to Brooklyn because he's been mysteriously disappearing each week with flowers, and it's that realization that she cares.
Jack and Bridget have both come from very difficult pasts. He takes a step back and he gives her the space to deal with what she's dealing with. And once he does that, he creates the space for her to meet him at least, halfway.
I think when Bridget finds out that he's been visiting his mother's grave, it's the first time she's seen him as a full person, that he has things that, haunt him as well. So I think there is a little bit of regret, and I think going forward, they found a friend, a confidant.
I think they both really want that and really deserve that, too.